Alright, hello and welcome to my second little video on working with dubstep in a loop-based environment. And this one I'm going to kind of go into, I did all this basically in 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes. Okay, so first we've got a beat, okay, and this is a very simple beat that I laid out, okay. So the central aspect of it is this voco beat loop right here. Just single that out and play that for you. Okay, and I didn't want any bass in there. I didn't want it to act as much as a beat as just a higher end sound that is rhythmic. So I took all the bass out of it. Okay, so you're just getting the... Maybe even pitch it up. I'd have to go through and change that all the way through. Okay, then in addition to that, just FX here, I've also done this little click sound, and I've added a delay on it with a fast delay and then a long delay so that it does this. Go ahead and just play that by itself. You hear how it's going da 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 da. Okay, that's the da 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 part is the first fast delay going into effect and then repeating off, you know, several times, like 3 times before it more or less fades away, is the longer delay. And again, I learned that from the Rusco Masterclass. You should definitely look that up if you're interested in doing dubstep. I learned a ton from watching that, and it does. It helps fill out the track, make it more interesting, and just fills out the top end. Okay, and then I've just got this vocal bit right here. And this one I have just a regular delay on the last bit so that it plays through normally. I think I'll slap some reverb, just a touch of reverb so it kind of blends into everything else. Probably should add a bit of reverb on that too, just so it blends in a little bit. Throw some reverb on my hi-hat again, not a whole lot, just enough to give it a bit of space. And I think I'll leave the kick and the snare alone. Okay, so this is just a vocal loop that I have from one of my Sony collections, and it just is from a movie, you know, like a zombie movie, and it's saying all obsessed with the taste of flesh. So I'll play that.
All obsessed with the taste of flesh.
Okay, so that you get to the end and it goes a flesh, 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 a flesh, a flesh, a flesh, you know, so you get that effect. Okay, and then we've got, of course, the rest of the beat here, which is just a kick, a snare, and a hi-hat. So I'll play that all together.
All obsessed with the taste of flesh. All obsessed with the taste of flesh. All obsessed with the taste of flesh.
Okay, all good. And I've got that repeating a couple of times here, and then it gets to a break down where all that's playing is the hi-hat, the vocal beat, which I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fade it out the other direction, and I'm going to use a fade out to where it more or less is fine, and then it almost drops completely out. And then of course I've got the vocal bit in there, and then I've just got the hi-hat repeating at a slightly faster pace, kind of keeping the tempo going. So turn off loop, and you'll be able to hear that, and then it'll go into the bass part, the drop. Okay, and I haven't added any other bass in here. Now the bass part is just it's called substantial bass, and it is just a real heavy, deep bass loop that I have from one of my packs, and then I've just added the LFO on it at 2 different speeds. Okay, very straightforward. So altogether, it sounds like this.
All obsessed with the taste of flesh. All obsessed with the taste of flesh. Obsessed with the taste of flesh. All obsessed with the taste of
and that's something that I can build a track off of. And of course I will. I've saved this as a song that'll be called Flesh Eaters at some point. And again, this is actually at 120, so I need to take that up to 140, actually. There you go. The start of an interesting dubstep track done entirely with loops and a few drum hits in there to build the beat. And in case you didn't see what the beat is, it's a kick, hi-hat, snare. Hi-hat, kick, kick, hi-hat, snare. Okay? And I built it up as kick, hi-hat, snare, hi-hat, kick, hi-hat, snare, hi-hat, kick. It's just that kick, hi-hat, snare. Like this, right here. Kick, hi-hat, kick. Okay, that's just a simple way to shuffle it. You know, and obviously you'd want to add in some more hits here and there. In fact, one thing that would be good is actually taking the hi-hat and moving them off the beat and then using a ride in there. That's something else I learned from watching that Resco masterclass. But, you know, since we have so much movement going around with this Vogo beat thing, we don't need a ton of other drum hits in there. We just need something that'll get it shuffling, which is you know, obviously adding some other stuff in there will help it shuffle even more, but we've already got a great start here. You know, we've already got some drum hits going good. We've got roughly a 37-second-ish, 42, yeah, about 37 seconds or so of a piece that we can build on. You know, we can use this and, you know, maybe have the bass turned down going into this particular drop, and then expand on the beat going into the next part of the song, and then really kick the bass up on the next part of it and have that be the real big drop. You know, tons of things that you can do, but this is an example of how you can just get the bits and pieces that you want to work with and arrange them into something interesting and then go from there. So, thanks for watching this. This is what you can do when you're just using loops and your imagination and just having some fun with it. So, if you're looking for some loop collections, I have a post I wrote on my website that has some good recommendations for you that are all dubstep and reggae dub and, some vocal loops, good stuff that'll really get you cracking, get you going with doing your own dubstep songs, okay? And, of course, using loops when you first get started in music production is always great, because that way you can just focus on learning and, figuring out your own way of arranging songs, and you don't have to worry about making your own sounds. But of course, not everybody is all that great at producing their own sounds. Sometimes, I said this in the other video, there's absolutely nothing wrong with not being good at making your own sounds. Personally, I suck at melody. Drum, the beats I can do okay. Even the basses, I can come up with some interesting bass sounds. When it comes to melody, I suck balls. Okay? So, I work around that. Just what you gotta do. If you're not any good at designing your own sounds, or you're so new to this that you just don't know what you're doing, loops are the way to go. So, till you get your feet, till you get your bearings, till you understand what you're doing, and you can kind of crack off on your own. Set out on your own, however you want to phrase that. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative. Stop by the website and check out those recommendations on loop collections that I have for you. And as always, if you found this useful and would like to keep up to date on future video uploads, please subscribe and share this with your producer buddies. Thank you very much for watching and taking your time to listen to me and see what I'm up to. And I hope you found this informative, learned something. And, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.